What is up, you guys? My name is RVZ and welcome back to Cosplay Convention Crisis. Now we're back in the room after all that crazy convention alien thing. I don't even know what the hell happened, but okay. I guess that the painting on the wall. The gorilla gazed back down into me. Yeah, fuck you too, gorilla painting. Okay, alright, fine. Yeah, fuck the gorilla. After that entire ordeal, I decided I was in desperate need of a nice, relaxing shower. Also, me and my cosplay were both covered in blood, so I needed to do something about that. When I got out though, the most obvious thing I noticed was there was now a letter sitting square on my bed. Okay, what? Who the fuck placed the letter there? I don't know. When I opened it, I found a note addressed to me, in squiggly handwriting. Dear beloved Jacob, I am deeply sorry that you had to be entangled in all of those shenanigans downstairs. Though this does speed up my timetables, I did plan to tell you all about myself in time. I don't want you to think less of me for what happened. What I want least of all is for you to decide you don't want anything to do with me. So regardless of when you read this, I want you to know I'm free to talk to you. If you go to the food court, you'll find me, don't worry. I'll know if you're heading in that direction. Love, Mikoto. I gritted my teeth as I finished the letter. Fucking Mikoto. But before I could even consider I wanted to visit with her, I looked over at my phone and noticed that I'd received a few texts while I was in the shower. Hey Jacob, I know that was probably a lot for you at once. I know for a fact that I'm not happy with the way that turned out. I wanted to tell you in better circumstances. If you want to talk, can you come and visit me down at the panel floor? I mean the superheroes as metaphors. Panel in Wing C every hour or so. I'll stop by the room just in case you don't get this for a while. I clutched the letter in one hand and my phone in the other. On one hand, holy shit, Amanda was a magical girl, what the hell. On the other hand, Mikoto robbed a bunch of aliens and just shot Talia? What the hell? Clearly, I'd need to talk with one of them if I wanted answers, but which one of the two should I talk was the question. Kinda wanna go see what the hell happened with Mikoto. What the hell did she steal or something? I don't know, I'll go with Mikoto. I walked into the food court and instantly found Mikoto right where she said she'd be, the stale, overpriced pizza place. The moment she caught sight of me, she started frantically waving at me. I sighed. If dealing with Mikoto was a hassle on normal days... Mikoto! You're safe. Oh, Jacob, I was so worried about you. When I saw that you had been captured by... I put my hand to stop her. Can you please just stop? I know it's an act. It's pointless. Just because it's an act doesn't mean it's pointless. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. So at the very least, she was willing to give me some degree of information here. How insistent to be was a hard question. If I gave her too much rope, she'd probably try to wiggle free. But she might respond poorly to a hard line of questioning. Play along or push? Play along or push? Let's push. Yes. I'm not really in the mood for your little games, Mikoto. You saw what happened earlier. Who are you? What did you steal from Talia? I crossed my arms and made a face that was probably a carbon copy of the one I gave her a few weeks back in the men's room. Today has been totally insane, and so far everything I know tells me it's all your fault. Well, I suppose it's mostly Amanda's fault too for not mentioning her secret and that sexy little outfit that came with it. I swung my leg over a crappy bench of the table and took a seat opposite her. Are you going to give me some answers or not? Well, I suppose I did promise I'd tell you. She put a finger to her chin and tilted her head to the side. It made her long dark hair cascade over her shoulder. If the situation were different, I might even admit it. It was kind of sexy in its own way, might being the operative word. I need to start with a question though. A question? Yeah. Have you ever felt like your life is wrong? What kind of metaphysical bullshit was this going to be? What? Have you ever seen the way adventures and stories are portrayed in video games, anime, or something else, and just decided that your entire life wasn't the way it should be? That you were too smart or too cool or too skilled to live such a miserable, unfair existence? Yes? Jacob, my life used to be wrong. You know it's not. That's why we get to have fun together. I decided I'd had enough with my original dimension and came to this one. That was a record scratch moment in my brain right there. Was there a single person in my life who wasn't apparently secretly an anime character? You're telling me you're from another dimension? What are you going to say? That it isn't possible? Yes, that's impossible. It's kind of inspiring to think that after a day like that, you can still say the word impossible with a straight face. You are amazing. Mikoto giggled at me again, though this time it felt more genuinely affectionate. I don't know how to describe it. Like, she wasn't toying with me for once. I'm telling the truth. She reached down into... Where did she reach into exactly? I wasn't quite able to see from my vantage point. But the important thing was that she pulled out this thing that looked like a stereotypical sci-fi contraption. I mean, it had weirdly placed light bulbs and everything. This machine was invented by someone who was close to me back in the world I came from. It lets me jump around the multiverse. I tried a whole bunch of other worlds first. All of them were wrong in some way. But now I've been here for a few months, it's perfect here. She shot me a spine-tingle-inducing grin. I didn't trust that expression for 1 second. And so far, you've been perfect too. How many of those realities did you live for some reason that had to do with me? You want to know how important to me you are? That's sweet. She put a hand in her chest in a mercy me gesture. I felt my frustration starting to boil. She'd already told me so about her just now, but there was still so much she was keeping hidden. Though I did mostly believe what she was saying. Incredible as the idea that she was from an alternate reality was, it was not more incredible than the idea that Amanda was a magical girl. Fine, be mysterious. Oh, so I have your permission now? Yay. Why did you leave your original dimension though? You said it was wrong somehow. I don't really understand what that means. It means I fell in with the bad crew, and I didn't like it, so I left. For the first time in the conversation, maybe for the first time ever, it felt like I'd thrown Mikoto off guard. She paused momentarily, just to chew over her words. Then, in a flash, she perked up. It was almost like a cartoon light bulb went over her head. Say, you think the rave is open by now? My jaw hung open involuntarily. This had to be the most naked escape attempt from a conversation I'd experienced in my entire life. What? The rave, I want to dance, we should go. I slammed my hand down on the table. We're not done here. You still haven't given me a good explanation as to what happened this morning with Talia. And I will, on the way to the rave, come on. She half jumped out of her seat and sinked around the table. I tried to hold my ground, but there was only so much sleeve tugging any man could handle. Besides, she had promised to continue explaining what happened earlier, so I reluctantly rose from my seat and focused along after hers as she skipped down the hallway. Okay. So, why did Talia think that you robbed one of her people's sacred treasures? Because I robbed one of her people's sacred treasures. Oh, okay. Why exactly did you do that? Oh, that's easy, because I could. You ask a stupid question. You get a stupid answer. You're still going to have to expand on that one, Mikoto. Why? That's what I do. I'm a cat burglar. Rawr. I look for the biggest, shiniest treasures I can find and then I take them. To go along with that insightful declaration, she made a cat swiping the air gesture. This fact didn't go unnoticed by a fat man with a ponytail who let out a loud whistle at Mikoto. Mikoto, being Mikoto, giggled loudly at the attention she'd received. Back in my home reality, I heard of Avia and its special treasures. I looked around and figured out they still existed in this reality, so I went and took one. I stole it right from under Talia's nose too. You can't even imagine the look on her face when she realized I had it. I bet I can. I rubbed my temple. Talia had certainly proven how cross she could look back during the earlier fight. So basically, all of this is your fault. We could be having a normal convention right now if you didn't steal her stupid treasure. Correct. And you can just give it back to her and call it a day? Why would I do that? What if I said I'd tell Talia where you are if you don't? Presuming she survived. Oh, I don't mind. If you did, I'd just shoot her again. But neither of us want that to happen, so I won't. One wonders how many times I can blast that girl before a recovery tank won't save her. Recovery tank? I raised an eyebrow. That sounded almost like a healing tank from Dragon Orb Z. Rather, okay, fine, I'm not even, okay, it's the DOZ, yes, sure, why not? Oh, it's just a thing she has that lets her survive. That kind of thing regenerates very fast, it's why I doubt we'll be seeing the last of her blue tush. Okay, so it was the healing tank from Dragon Ball Orb, Dragon Ball, yes. Well, at least she wasn't dead. You make my life so much more complicated. Alternate dimension, intergalactic cat burglar, sure, fuck it, sure. I let out a long sigh. This was just about as far as my brain was willing to take this. Let's go rave, I guess. Yay, let's go. Mikoto suddenly clung to my arm and went sprinting down the hallway with alarming speed. It was almost effortless the way she was able to drag me around. Just how strong was she? Actually, I have an idea. Before we could arrive at the back segment of the con hall where the rave was normally shuffled off to, Mikoto took a sudden sharp turn into one of the few hallways without anything con-related going on. We went just far enough to leave easy sight range of anyone else. The entire time, alarm bells were ringing in my brain. Being alone with Mikoto was, well, it was dangerous. That was when a flash of red light rang out. What the hell? What's going on? When it cleared, Mikoto had changed into the skin-tight catsuit she had been wearing earlier. I stood there, gawking. Oh, she looks kawaii desu ne? Yes? You can do that anywhere? It's molecularly bonded to me. One snap and I'm stylish and ready for action. A perfect outfit for raving. Don't you agree? A quick glance over her curves, one that only seemed urged on by the way she made a show of extending her ass, confirmed her statement. She was sleek and sexy. I averted my gaze to the side. I was probably blushing too, knowing my luck. Let's just go. It was still, if anything, a bit earlier, so there wasn't a line outside the rave. We just had to flush our badges to a guy at the door and sneak in. A moment later, Mikoto's badge was gone. Inside was a flurry of movement and sound. Darkened silhouettes of people moving their bodies in often spastic but occasionally rhythmic ways. The floor shook and the beat bounced. Like normal, for an anime con rave, the song was hyped up nightcore version of an anime opening. This time, it was even being sung in English. Like an angel with cruel and merciless intent. Go forth, young boy, and you'll become a legend. That translation didn't seem right. Must be a variation of the lyrics. But if Mikoto was troubled by the plausible mistranslation of the Adamgelium theme, she didn't show it. After all, she was too busy cracking some glow sticks. Oh my, what the fuck, okay, we're at the rave, alright, she's a cat girl, alright, fine, whatever. Then she started to dance. She swayed her body left and right, pounding her arms left and right, perfectly on cue with the uns of the beat. Her head turned with it, waving her hair back and forth like it was part of her body. Stood in awe, she was incredible. Just going to stand there with your jaw hanging, bad boy? Dance with me. Well, I wasn't going to just take that lying down. That was a challenge. Thankfully, this wasn't my first con, and in this case, that meant this wasn't my first rave. I grabbed the glow stick off a surprised Mikoto and started to move my body. The two of us danced in tandem. She was much better at it, of course. She was gracefully able to roll her hips to the melody and twist her body in ways I didn't even think possible. But I was keeping pace. I was just doing a two-step I learned at the con dancing panel 2 years back. Oh, you're not bad. Let her take the lead or be aggressive. Can I be aggressive? I can let you take the lead. Yes, you can take the lead. I was keeping up with her as best as I could, but Mikoto was just better than me at this. She was so graceful. Even the way the light seemed to bounce off her suit was almost majestic. She glowed in the light. Just what do you want me to do? My head was spinning as much from the sight of her, the proximity of her, the overstimulation of the room. The thought that I was still mad at her from earlier only slightly pushed through the confusion. It was like I was high. Relax, I've got this. Even as she continued to sway, Mikoto closed the distance. Song shifted to Chiptune's version of the Love Hina theme, but I was too focused on her to even notice. I couldn't take my eyes off her. She was so close to me now, I could feel her breath, I could feel her heat. I could even feel her movement of her body in the occasional brush of her form against mine. But all of that was before she turned around. At that point, she was half grinding on me, swaying her rear back and forth, brushing against me every so often. I was too focused to get myself to continue dancing, to not just stand there slack-jawed. We might have danced that way for 10 minutes, we might have done it for an hour, I don't know. We kept dancing even as one song ended after another started. All around us were guys dancing with light-up gloves, girls looking like they were trying to clean up an oil spill that could only be repelled by mesh, and an uncomfortable number of people in cheap bondage gear. That's why it came as such a surprise when Mikoto suddenly turned back around. She gave me a smile and leaned towards my ear to whisper to me. This was fun, darling. Talking, dancing, let's do this again soon. And then, in true Mikoto fashion, she suddenly plunged into the crowd before I even realized what had happened. She was swallowed by the bodies in motion. Mikoto? Mikoto? She was gone. Again. Fantastic. I grumbled in frustration, but there was nothing to be done. If Mikoto wanted to vanish on me, there was little I could do to stop her. Now, San's dancing partner, I left the rave. I had to walk out doing an uncomfortable step. I needed precaution so no one could easily see the slight tent that had formed in my pants. Fucking Mikoto. Oh, there's a tent! Wait, okay, I had no idea there was a tent, but apparently there's a tent. Returning to my room after my run-in with Mikoto, I was in for something of a surprise. Human Jacob. When I saw it, I nearly jumped a mile in the air. I wasn't expecting a robot ambush. Well, another robot ambush anyway. Oh fuck, it's you. Your presence is requested back on the ship. Strongly. I took a second to get my bearings, make sure I didn't pee myself. The thought occurred to me that my treatment from the last gynoid to request my presence, I should tell it to give itself an oil enema. Didn't you threaten to arrest me and bring me back to your home world for trial? Why do you expect me to agree on that? When Magical Defender Pink returned the princess, she said that a voice came out of the machine that was such a pinch-perfect recreation of Amanda's that I was pretty sure it was a recording. I swear with heart aflame, do anything to Jacob and I will give you a world of pain. Seriously, I'll fucking do it, don't try me. The gynoid returned with normal speech voice and took on a tone that I could fucking swear it was bitterness. Your safety and freedom are guaranteed. That left me in a jam. On one hand, Amanda was still waiting to see me. Just talking to one of them wasn't enough to give me a handle of things. But I had to admit I was curious to see, at the very least, how Talia was doing. Who to pick, who to pick. God damn, but I need to see Amanda. Alright, before I make a decision, I guess this is a good place to end the episode. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go for Amanda, but I'm curious on Talia as well. That's a bit of an awkward decision, but anyway, I'll do that on the next episode. Let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. If you actually enjoyed the video, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and as always, I hope to see you again.